Hey y'all, welcome back to the shop. It is after hours again. We are back after it. So tonight we are going to be redrawing a subscriber's original character, their profile picture, and the subscriber's name is Zombies Are Cool. We have done a request from them before, and I'm happy to do another one. This one is a pretty cool character design. What I believe to be a zombie, and I'll pop that up on the screen here so you can see it, of what I believe to be a zombie wearing a ball cap, but also a cowl, like an inflated cowl or like a space helmet. I'm not exactly sure. We'll kind of keep it the way Zombies Are Cool has it, and we'll just roll with it. He's also got, this character also has a pet snake, looks like partially zombified snake. So, with that said, let's get into this redraw. And let's go here. Okay. I think instead of just a simple pose of the character waving, what we're going to do is something a little bit more dynamic. Something maybe a little bit more in line with like a zombie. And what that would be is like, what I was thinking is kind of like have his head like down like this. And then just it like his whole body just like tilted down. Almost like he's walking like a zombie, you know. You get a little bit more personality. Not that there's tons of personality in the original design for sure. But I think what we can do is really push the idea that the character is, in fact, a zombie. And instead of putting it there, I think what we'll do, I'm gonna go like it's gonna take forever. Just try to delete the whole thing. We'll bring this arm like here. So that they're sort of coming together. Now this is just a mannequin. I always just like to draw the mannequins first. That way I can kind of see where the clothes are gonna go. Or if, you know, whatever outfit they're wearing. Have an idea, a general idea of how we're going to finish the character up. Let's see. Okay, and then the rest of the body is going to be like this sort of tilted almost. Tilted down, maybe looking at the camera. Okay. He's gonna look a little jacked at the moment, but we will make it more to the way that Zombies has it originally. It's not gonna look this jacked at the end. I just my mannequins have a habit of being more muscular. So I'm so used to drawing superhero things, like Dragon Ball Z stuff. Forgive me if everything looks super jacked. I did an Amazing Digital Circus short a little while ago, and people were like, "Homie looks too jacked, bro." I'm like, "Yeah, my bad habit about doing that." But we'll work on it. Okay. I want to make it so that the leg is maybe facing towards us. Not necessarily unnaturally. It kind of looks unnatural, and I think it's because it's shifted too high. No room for the hip to sit anywhere. And then this leg is maybe bracing the weight, since all of the body weight's going this way. maybe this leg is bearing that heavy load of the body. So we'll extend it out here. And we can fix this other leg. In fact, I'm going to get rid of it. Not working out at the moment, so we'll just dice it. Come back. Hamstring in there. And then, like I said, this one is going to be bearing basically the entire load. Character's weight. There we go. Something like that. We'll fix this because I think the character's got some boots. Some kind of really loose-fitting boots, it looks like. And I can fix that on the inking phase. Maybe that leg's a little bit too big. Shrink it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Good, and then we'll just put the foot here. There. Now we get the hands in here. Might make this like maybe a darker blue. It's easier to see it. Hands are always so hard to draw. There's so many different types of perspective involved. With each individual finger has its own unique perspective. And I think that's why so many people have trouble drawing hands. It's hard to do perspective with a single object. It feels almost catastrophic to try and do it with, 5 different objects, which are like the fingers. Everybody can draw a palm, right? It's easy. It's the fingers that suck, I don't know why I was doing that. Okay. And then this hand's maybe just behind this hand. Now, I'm not trying to hide the hand or anything. It's just like maybe the pose is almost dictating that this hand, the right one, is behind the left one. So we won't be able to see most of it anyway. And it still looks off. What's going on? I don't know, maybe not. It's not too awful on the flip. There we go. And then he has a snake ally. I haven't decided where we're gonna put that guy yet. Let's finish this character in a sketch really quick, and then we'll figure out where to put the snake. The head, I think, is going to be maybe the most confusing part here, because I'm not exactly sure what is on this character's name is Zombon. I'm not exactly sure what's on Zombon's head. But it's super big. It's going to be taking up quite a lot of space around the head. And it's got like these little tie things, and I'll pop that picture back up again really quick. It's got these little tie things on it around the bottom, and that's what makes me think it's like a cowl. It looks like it's tied on, like it's coming down. to a bit here, and then it's tied, like almost like Little Red Riding Hood. When you think of her cowl, that's what it looks like to me. But it also looks like it's kind of inflated like a balloon around, like maybe the character's kind of wearing a baseball cap, maybe. That's alive, like a sentient zombie baseball cap. We'll tighten this up in the inking phase, but this is what we're looking at here. And then it's got these like bones that kind of stick out the side, almost like skull and crossbones, but they only come to the top. What we can do is maybe give this a little more flair too by giving it a dip here, let the gravity pull it down a little bit. Apologize if you guys can hear my pal world in the background. Taking a break every now and then get some stuff done around the base. Such a great game. I'm having so much fun playing it. It is like the adults. It's like the appropriate sequel to how Pokemon should have gone. For those of us who grew up with the original Pokemon and don't want to spend eternity as an 8-year-old playing in the Pokemon world, Pal World seems like the spiritual successor to that. Almost like a survival game that is similar to Pokemon in that you can capture your pals and have them assist you in survival. Okay, and then it's like got the bone here, and then the bone here. And it's like pulling up, maybe, because it would realistically pull that fabric up and out. Face here. Let's see, how can we do this? So I'm looking at the history of this character on Zombies Are Cool's YouTube page, and there are a few different iterations of the character. I'm going to try and integrate a couple of them in together. The most recent one has the character's like super underbite. And this is what it looks like anyways. It's got like an underbite. We can do that. And it also got one white eye and one black eye. It's like blacked out. And it is the left one that's blacked out, so this one. Probably just missing an eyeball. And then this one is just white. It's just pure white. There's no eyeball at all. We'll try and follow the actual reference the best we can. And we'll make this guy have like a really blocky jaw, because that is how the most recent iteration is from Zombies Are Cool. A bit of a blocky jaw with the underbite. No ears. It doesn't look like. He's just a zombie guy after all. And then all of this is just, I'm gonna assume darkness. It's like the under part of the cowl is just shaded out. There we go. The character is also wearing what looks like a Boy Scout's uniform or a Scout's uniform. That probably won't be as visible on this pose just because of the way the character is posed. It's also got like a tie. He's wearing a tie. We can maybe, I think in this position here, the tie would be kind of hanging down like this. Something like this here. To try and remember that that's a tie. It's getting a little, I call it getting gummy. It's getting gummy up in here because I've got a lot of really scratchy lines. We don't want to keep it this gummy. We want to try to make it a little more legible so that we don't confuse ourselves when it comes time to ink. I'm gonna assume that the guy's wearing like a jacket. So it's gonna come to like a middle section right here where there's like it's gonna be buttoned in. There we go. And then we've got that. Now let's go down here to the boots. And I see in one iteration it looks like the character has pant legs coming all the way down. And in another iteration, he's wearing, the newer one rather, he's wearing his boots, but they've got like this really wide brim to them almost. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to mix a bit of the first iteration, which has the pant legs coming down a little bit further. And then it's a little bit more comfortable for the character, maybe, than super loose fitting boots. But when you're a zombie, do you care about comfort? I don't know. I don't think you do. If I'm being honest, don't think you do, but what do I know? I am not a zombie expert. Alright, now where do we put the snake? Let's put him on a different layer to begin with. Where do we put it? Maybe, like, I'm half tempted to find a reference of a snake just to look and see. What we might be able to do. There's nothing good. Nothing good on an initial Google search, so I don't know. We'll just do our best. Let's actually draw the head first. And it'll be, I think snakes really have more of a flattened head like this. Maybe it's doing the same thing. It's like doing a cockeyed head pose. Looks like a frog. It's not supposed to look like a frog. Vampire frog. And then it's got like the top of its head. It's kind of like more bone. There. Now it looks like a Ninja Turtle. Let's see, how are we going to do this? It's too flat. Snake needs to look more round. Maybe? Yeah, it's a little better. And it's just like hanging down off of this guy, maybe. It's not too crazy. And then it is a rattlesnake, because the reference picture does show the rattle. And the rattle is like an elongated set of scales with, like, not a bone, it's more like cartilage that rattles around, and that's what causes the noise. And it's leathered, it's almost sort of leathered, feathered, sort of like this. There we go. And we can put a tongue, I guess. It does have its tongue out on the references that I looked at on Zombies Are Cool's YouTube profile. Definitely check out their profile. Super awesome creator, and they have a lot of really cool designs. Go. Okay, now the character has sleeveless, it's like a sleeveless Boy Scouts jacket. This is what it looks like to me, and maybe it's just the color. Let's actually, I'm gonna pull that down further. It is sleeveless. Well, maybe that is the right spot. I'll put it right here. It is sleeveless. It cuts off at like the top of the shoulder, it looks like. The character only has 3 fingers in here, or 2 fingers and a thumb. I'll keep the 5 fingers on this one, since we already drew them in. And that way it doesn't look too much like a Ninja Turtle. Okay. I think that's okay for the sketch. And we'll get some background stuff going in here too. And I will just make some interesting shapes in the background, similar to what Zombies has for the original picture. And we'll go from there. So that's the final sketch here, and then as we normally do, I'll cut it after the concept and the sketch, and then the rest of the art, like the inking and the color and stuff, I'll do that kind of offline, since it's all just redundancies at this point anyway. And I don't want to take up too much of your time. I think we've hung out for a good almost 30 minutes maybe. I appreciate you guys hanging out for that long. I have a lot of fun hanging out with you guys, so we'll go from there. Until next time, we'll see you.